very tragic house. When a house has seen a tragedy, it reflects it. Creaks a little more than untragic houses. The windows rattle frantically with even a passing breeze. Door hinges get stuck more often, restraining entrance with everything in their power. It breathes deeply and sighs wispily. This house is haunted, but it has trouble scaring anyone. Even if a ghost hunter were to enter, they would not feel scared. They would weep and leave, as houses this tragic have a way of warding off passersby. Yes, the only people who would ever live in a house this tragic are those who are too sentimental to leave, those who are only staying to prove to themselves that everything is okay, that everything will be okay. Everything will be okay, the house croaks, but no one believes the house. I'm here to say that everything will be okay, regardless of what the house thinks, and you can trust me. Everything will be okay for everyone who lives here and has lived here, except the house itself, which will be bulldozed about 2 years after this play ends. And even its deconstruction will be painful, as the wrecking balls will swing a little more violently than usual, taking paths slightly off kilter where they were meticulously lined up to ram into. It will fall instantaneously. Buzzsaws will scream in pain. But when it is over, it will be over, and everything will be okay. You are an unwanted outsider. You do not have permission to look into this house, yet you do. You watch Max as he exits his room on the second floor and stands at the top of the stairs, looking down in absolute terror. He stares, quaking, as vulnerable as a 15-year-old boy can be, unable to descend. He can't. The house won't let him. Not after what happened. He's frozen for a long time, so long his head is ringing, so long the stairs themselves are scratching up from the ground. He hyperventilates and steps backwards, tiny baby steps, turns around and enters the door leading to his room. The upstairs goes dark a moment. Steve, 40s, enters wearing a tux, holding and spinning around Runa, 40s, adorned in her mother's old wedding dress that happens to fit her perfectly. It was beautiful 40 years ago. They're shushing each other and laughing. It's dark, and they're visibly drunk. Steve puts Runa down, and they enter their bedroom door on the lower level of the house. A moment. They return with something. It truly doesn't matter. Steve's wallet or keys. Maybe Runa has changed her heels for a pair of sneakers. Either way, they both recognize, even in their inebriation, that staying in this house is a rancid way to spend the happiest day of their lives, so they leave again in shushed giggles. A moment. Dim lights shine on the upper level as it is revealed that Annalise, 8, crouched, was watching the interaction the whole time through the slots in the banister. She stands unfazed and enters her room on the second floor. A moment. A glass crashes from the kitchen counter to the floor and shatters. You have just been introduced to the 5 characters in this play.
Okay, also real quick, I'm so sorry for a housekeeping note. Later, near the end of the play, there are going to be some lines from the house itself. Sherwood, if you just want to do a gesture, everyone will shout cardamom during those times. Does that sound good, people? Your line is cardamom. When we are the house. Okay, amazing. Okay, let's keep going.
Scene 2, Sunday morning breakfast. The air is still as sunlight sneaks through the blinds. It's a beautiful day. Runa exits her bedroom barefoot and smiles to greet the day. She takes a moment to walk through her new home. She takes in every piece of furniture, glances at every family photograph, runs her hand along a handmade quilt draping the couch. Her smile suddenly fades when she walks by the stairs. She pauses only for a moment before walking by, her glee returning. She makes her way to the kitchen, which she finds equally whimsical and equal whimsy in. In her merriment, she almost steps on the smashed glass on the floor. She notices it at the last moment, then slips to avoid it. While confused, she finds a broom and dustpan and cleans it up. After she takes everything in, she goes to the fridge and pulls out a container full of leftover rice, a carton of milk, butter, and some fresh berries. She pulls out from the spice cabinet vanilla extract, sugar, cinnamon, and nutmeg. She then takes out a small pot, ladle, and measuring cups and measures out the precise amount of rice, sugar, vanilla extract, and nutmeg that go in the bowl. She moves the pot to the stovetop and puts the heat on low. She slowly begins to add milk while stirring. She stirs. She stirs. She stirs a moment longer. As she stirs, Steve exits their room. He notices her cooking, sneaks up behind her, and hugs her from behind and kisses her neck. She pretends to be startled. Runa speaks with a Norwegian accent.
Good morning, baby.
Good morning, Stevie.
How are you?
I'm a little sleepy thanks to you.
He reaches to her right hand as she stirs and caresses her wedding ring.
Are you making Riesgrot?
Yeah, that's what you usually have Sunday mornings, right?
I mean, back with Dorothy, but we haven't had it in years. She never taught me the recipe, not that I'm much of a cook anyways.
It's been in our family for generations. I know it like the back of my hand.
Max will be so excited. It's his favorite. He'll be surprised to have it again.
I hope he does. I don't think he likes me very much.
Nonsense. He's always liked you.
He doesn't like me now.
He's just going through some growing pains.
Steve leaves her embrace and pours himself a glass of milk.
Oh, did you break a glass last night?
No? Why?
There was broken glass on the floor. I assumed you got up to get a glass of water and dropped it.
It was probably Max. He's been acting out so much recently. I'm sure he'll grow to accept you soon enough.
Then it's done. She takes the pot off the heat, careful to turn off the stove. She then grabs 4 bowls and a spoon and puts a scoop of Riesgrot in each. She speaks as she does this.
I hope so. I really hope so.
You're hard not to like. Annalise likes you.
Yeah, I just don't think she really knows what's going on.
She's a smart, compassionate kid.
Annalise opens her door and bounds down the stairs. As she descends, she sings En Solskenstag.
Honey, your pronunciation is getting good, I think.
It is good. Axen din veldig bra.
What?
Did Dorothy not teach the kids the language?
Only the basics.
Oh, well, good morning, Annalise.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Aunt Runa.
Annalise sits at her seat. Runa and Steve freeze. Runa slowly goes back to setting the table.
Remember, honey, we call Aunt Runa Mom now.
But Mom is dead.
This is new Mom.
Mom died 3 years ago.
Honey, let's not talk about that.
She died over there.
You can call me whatever you'd like, sweetie.
No, that's weird. She can't call you Aunt.
Do you just want to call me Runa?
Okay.
Runa looks at Steve and smiles. He weakly smiles back. She finishes setting the table and adds the berries, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and butter as toppings to the bowls.
I don't like raspberries.
Oh, sorry, I can take him out.
No, Annalise, you have to try them. Eat what is served.
They make the porridge gross.
You need to learn to like them, Anna.
It's okay, you can give them to me.
Annalise looks at Runa, then picks the berries out and puts them into Runa's outstretched bowl. Runa smiles reassuringly.
Max doesn't like cinnamon.
Oh,
Runa tries to pick the dusted cinnamon out of the extra bowl with her spoon. Annalise begins eating.
Is Max in the bathroom, or is he in his room?
I don't know.
Can you go check, honey?
Annalise scoots out of the chair that's too big for her and runs upstairs.
It's breakfast time!
She knocks on the bathroom door. She then runs over to Max's room and enters. They softly squabble until they come back on stage.
Get out!
Steve puts his head in his hands and sighs. Runa places a timid hand on his back and rubs.
I'm sorry this has been such a difficult transition for you.
no, not at all. I feel bad for the kids. It must be a lot to process.
Yeah, but they've had years to process. It's time for them to move on.
Runa gives him a weary smile. He returns it, moves his hand to her stomach, and rubs it. She encloses her hand over his. They stay like this for a moment. When Max bursts out of his room, Annalise on his heels.
What if I don't want to eat, huh?
It's family breakfast.
They walk to the stairs. He stops. Annalise bumps into him. He very carefully descends the stairs. He's going too slow, so Annalise passes him. She takes her seat as he walks into the kitchen, grabs and starts to unpeel a banana.
I bet your Riesgrot is shit.
Apologize right now, young man.
No, it's okay. I understand. It's hard to adjust, but it's the same recipe. We both learned it from our mother.
Max walks to his bowl and without sitting down takes a bite and immediately spits it back into the bowl.
Max!
I was right. It's shit.
Annalise eats.
It tastes weird.
Oh?
Oh, come on. It's been 3 years since you had it. Be nice to your new mother, please.
Steve takes a bite and dwells on it.
See? It's shit.
It is a little different than I remember, but still very good. Max, sit down and eat with us like a proper family.
A proper family? Last I checked, someone in a proper family doesn't knock up his sister-in-law.
Max, can you please not do this right now?
You could have remarried anyone. Anyone! Not a fucking clone of your wife. Aunt Runa didn't have bangs until Mom died. Ever notice that? You look just like her. You know that? It's not a compliment.
Runa is staying? So you better get used to it, young man. Now apologize to her.
Fuck you! Leave me alone.
Max takes the banana from the counter and goes back to his room. Runa takes a bite of the porridge.
How did I mess it up?
No, he's just like that. Don't take it out on yours.
No, the porridge. Did I add too much vanilla?
It tastes delicious, baby.
It is missing something, though.
I'm going on a field trip today.
Really? Where to?
The watershed.
Oh, how fun! I remember when we used to go to the watershed as a class in Oslo. I always loved it.
Mrs. Tyler's told us we all had to pack lunch today.
Runa stands up and gets a lunchbox in the kitchen. She begins to speed pack a lunch.
Oh,
You didn't tell us this.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. When you signed the permission slip?
Oh, crap, you did. Sorry. I'm bad at remembering these things. Dorothy used to pack her lunch every day. I tried to do that, but it's so much easier if she eats there.
well, I love to cook, so I can pack you lunch every day if you want.
Me and Mommy used to cook together.
We can cook together anytime, okay, Annalise?
Okay, Aunt Runa.
Do you want some risgrot to take for lunch?
Yeah.
Scene 3, night. Night 2. As the lights dim and night creeps in, the audience gets colder. Chills breeze through the theater and the tragic house stirs. None of them know it, but not a single person in the house is asleep right now. None of them have been able to sleep in a long time. The house takes a deep breath and groans. It is night, a humming, a clawing. The lights slowly walk down the stairs and stop at a mass at the bottom, folded over, a cluster of white silk, hair, and blood. The figure's neck is twisted and hanging limply, the last petal on a wilting rose. It sits still, a practiced stillness. 3 long years of practiced stillness. It seems so natural, as if the house sprouted up around it. You start to wonder if it was slumped there the whole time and you just never noticed. This still pile of translucent flesh and cracked bones wrapped in a silk nightgown is our 5th and final character. What remains of Dorothea? Max exits his room and goes to the bathroom, but he stops before entering and looks below him down the stairs. He stares down in terror, clutching the banister. He stands quaking for a moment. What remains his head lolls back to look at him. It is an agonizing moment that requires tremendous effort. It hangs limply back at Max, and he gapes down. What remains, somehow, forces itself to its feet. It drags itself, bloody, bruised, broken and all, to the kitchen, keeping its gaze fixed at the banister until it can't. Cracking of bones heard during its treacherous route. Max begins to take a step down but can't. The house won't let him. And he collapses down into a crouch, hugging his knees again. What remains moves its arms, one bent, and reaches to the glasses, wrapping its fingers around 2, and violently slams one on the kitchen floor. It bounds towards the main room faster than what you thought possible and fixes its limp head upwards to see if Max is watching, to see if Max will finally return the gaze, but he has already scampered back to his room. What remains collapses, lets out a piercing gurgled shriek, and chucks the other glass across the living room floor. The sound is agonizing. The glass shatters instantly and skids across the hardwood. It is tragic. The house breathes deeply and lets out a groan. Lights cut out. When they come up, only the glass shards remain and the audience feels warm. Scene 4, Monday morning breakfast. The air is still as sunlight sneaks through the blinds. It's a beautiful day. Runa exits her bedroom barefoot, looking exhausted. She makes a beeline to the kitchen, flinching slightly as she passes the stairs. She almost steps in the trail of broken glass, but notices it at the last minute. It scares her. She's confused, goes to sweep it up. As she throws it away, she notices the broken glass in the kitchen too and sweeps it. After throwing the second glass away with a sigh, she gathers the ingredients for risgrot and tries again. She's determined to get it right this time. She's determined to earn her place in this tragic house. She tries again precisely. With measuring cups and a careful hand, She takes a bite. Her face sours. It's not right. It's worse than it was before. She angrily sighs, goes into the fridge and comes back with sauerkraut. She opens it and starts eating it frantically, sadly, and angrily with a spoon. The lights light up to reveal that nearby, Max was crouching on a stool next to an open window wearing a jacket and eating sursil, pickled herring, out of the jar, watching her. A moment.
You're not supposed to eat that over there.
She yelps and spins to notice him, and he laughs at her.
You're supposed to be at school. Are you skipping? Were you just staring at me? Where did you come from?
I could ask you the same.
Stop with the crypticness. I know how you feel about me.
No, you don't. You still think you can get me to like you.
Why aren't you at school?
You're not supposed to eat that over there.
What?
Smelly foods, sauerkraut, sursiled, pickled vegetables. Mom used to say that they're good for your gut and blood. I'm sure you're also aware of their health benefits as you struggle with controlling blood sugar levels and getting enough probiotics too, like she did. All those problems are genetic after all.
Get to your point.
Dad and Annalise hate the smell, so if you're gonna eat smelly things, you have to eat them by the window so it doesn't stink. That's the rule.
How much pickled herring do you eat that requires a rule?
Ask the woman sobbing into a jar of sauerkraut because she can't make rice pudding.
I'm gonna eat this on the porch.
Good luck. It's a high of 24 today.
She puts on a winter coat, picks up the jar of sauerkraut with a fork sticking out of it, and leaves through the front door. Max snickers and goes back to eating. A long moment. Runa returns dusted with snow and makes her way to the window next to Max. She stands and eats. Max observes and smirks. A moment.
You know you loved me as a baby.
It's true. I have a very good relationship with all my extended family.
But you really liked me. I was able to put you to sleep when your mom couldn't.
You can't replace her.
I'm not trying to. Your dad is really concerned about you.
No, he's not.
Of course he is. Stop your teenage rebellion for a second and think about all he's done for you.
All he's done for himself. He's just tired of dealing with me.
That's not true. He invests so much into your well-being. He makes time for you to go to after-school clubs. He makes accommodations for you at school. He takes you to therapy.
Always to get me out of the house.
That's not true.
He's a horrible dad.
He's trying really hard.
Stop with that fake fucking cheerful fucking face. You're not a saint for pretending to care about me and Annalise. I don't need your pity or your bullshit attempt at love. You know why he married you? Because you're just another bullshit attempt to fix me.
This has nothing to do with you. We fell in love.
God, you really are done.
Runa puts the sauerkraut down and stares at her hands.
What do I have to do? A monthly allowance, longer curfew, a dog, alcohol, pot?
What are you talking about?
You can hate me all you want. I can take it, but I can't live in a house where every single time my husband and my stepson are in a room, an argument breaks out. I can't.
Maybe you should have reconsidered marrying someone.
Shut up! You think this is
related
ideal
to.
for me? Do you think this is what I wanted? I could have fallen for any other man and been perfectly happy. You think I want to be at the center of family reunions? You think I want to be constantly compared to her? I don't want to live with you any more than you want to live with me, but I made a promise to your father, and I'm pregnant, and I want to be with him forever. So do you want a car or what?
No, I don't. I don't want my goddamn aunt to buy me a car or weed, you fucking weirdo. I want you to stay out of my life.
He slams the sursil jar on the windowsill and starts to leave, but turns around.
And for the record, I don't think you want any of that shit you just said. I don't think you give a shit about my father. You just want to be her.
He starts to leave the kitchen when Steve enters wearing a puffy coat. Max dashes to his room. Steve sighs, watching him scamper up the stairs. Runa's distressed, but tries to control her face.
Hey, baby.
Morning, Stevie. You were out the door so quick this morning, I didn't even get to say goodbye.
He enters the kitchen and they kiss.
God, it smells in here. Was Max eating that goddamn fish again?
Runa puts the lid on the sursiled and sauerkraut and puts the jars away.
We were eating together.
Really? Were you guys talking?
Yeah.
That's good. You guys should hang out more. Maybe it'll help him.
I don't think that's a great idea.
Max likes to go ice skating in the winter. You could take him to the rink.
I think he'd go at my jugular with his skate.
It might be good to get him out of the house.
Isn't he supposed to be at school?
He doesn't go in until 9. I just drop him off when I go to the office. His therapist thinks letting him sleep in will minimize his outbursts.
Oh.
Steve sees the pot of Rizgrot on the stove.
Rizgrot again?
I'm trying with actual vanilla beans instead of extract this time. I don't know what I'm getting wrong.
Your Rizgrot is delicious.
But it's not correct.
Babe, I love you, but I'm getting kind of sick of porridge.
I can make you an omelet if you prefer.
I don't want to waste the Rizgrad if you're already making it.
It'll be wasted anyways if it's not right.
Babe,
It's true. If I can't make it like how my mother did, and my grandmother, and her mother before her, how can I call myself a member of this family if I can't make it like her?
nobody's comparing you to her.
Runa slams the ladle down more violently than intended.
Everybody's comparing me to her. Your kids are comparing me to her. My mother is comparing me to her. I'm comparing myself to her. I'm sure you are too, and I almost stepped on broken glass twice this morning because your psycho kid has it out for me.
It'll be okay. It'll settle after a while.
He turns off the stove and they sit down together, him comforting her.
He wasn't always like this.
No shit.
I don't know what to do. He's never actually talked to his therapist, none of them. He just sits there, silently smirking at them for an hour as they ask him questions. It's creepy. I don't know why he won't talk to any of them. I've been trying to give him everything he needs to heal, but he won't even try.
Maybe he just needs time.
He's had time and resources and support. He makes me feel like I didn't mourn enough, but I did. It was horrible for all of us, but I've moved on. Why can't he? That's really fucked up of me to say, isn't it? I guess I just missed throwing a ball around with him. I don't know. I want him to come back.
Runa gets up and pours them each a bowl of Rizgrad. They taste it, and Runa makes a face.
It's delicious, baby.
Thanks.
Scene 5, Night 3. If the audience members brought a sweater, they're putting it on now. What remains is slumped over at the bottom of the stairs, limbs twisted, neck hanging loosely to the figure. It sits, or rots, really. It waits. It wonders why it's still here, why it's not allowed to leave. It thinks about Annalise and Max. And as if she was answering her prayers, Annalise emerges from her room and walks to the bathroom. What remains brings itself to its feet. It's a horrifyingly tedious process. What remains has never gotten used to its existence. It is brutal and difficult to navigate, and time is limited before Annalise leaves. It shrieks as it rises, a final push to bring it upright, or as upright as what remains can manage. It scampers to the kitchen, messily and frantically opening the cabinet before the chance is gone. What remains grabs a glass and slams it down on the kitchen floor as Annalise exits the bathroom back to her room. The sound works, though, and Annalise stops in her tracks.
Max?
What remains grabs another glass and skulks towards the stairs and looks up to Annalise. Annalise slowly and nervously begins descending the stairs.
Max, it's not cool to break things.
What remains matches her pace, approaching the staircase as Annalise makes her way down.
Even if you're angry, please say something.
What remains throws the glass to the floor. Annalise sees this and stops dead in her tracks. Her eyes linger on the ground, going over the spread of glass that appeared before her, as if when she looks up, she'll finally see something she's been missing. She breathes heavily. What remains gargles, tired, hopeful. Annalise carefully looks up. She can see it. For the first time, she can see it, and they both know. Quickly, what remains reaches a bent arm to Annalise and sobs. Annalise screams and runs up the stairs. What remains chases her, screeching. Despite its silk nightdress getting caught on the stairs, its speed is impressive. Annalise screams through hyperventilation and runs towards her room. What remains is looming under her. It almost grabs Annalise, but she slips into her room and throws herself at her bedroom door. What remains attempts to open the door, but its arms do not cooperate, and all it can do is slam itself against her bedroom door over and over again. The door rattles with each thud, and Annalise's shrieks grow with each thud. What remains' figure slumps more and more every time it rams into the door. It begins screeching in pain, and the slamming becomes less and less forceful. Eventually, what remains ends up in her signature position she holds at the bottom of the stairs, lolled over, defeated. All she has the energy for is raising a broken arm to the door and knocking over and over again. The knocking continues, its desperation not deterred by its frailty. On the other side of the door, Annalise cries. The lights go down, but the soft knocking and crying remain for many moments after the lights go out. Scene 6, Tuesday morning breakfast. It's warm, lights up, and our actors are already in place. It's been a chaotic morning. Runa is at the stove, muttering to herself as she makes Rizgrad again. She's deeply worried. Steve is upstairs, standing by Annalise's door. Annalise is crying behind the door. Steve lightly knocks on her door and she screams.
Anna, please tell me what's wrong. Do you need to go to the doctor?
No.
Do you want some breakfast? Runa is making Riesgrad again. It's your favorite.
Annalise just wails. Max opens his door sleepily, yet still on his guard. He looks puzzled at the scene before him.
Did Max do something to you? Did he throw those glasses at you?
What are you doing?
Annalise cries. Steve whips behind him at Max.
What are you trying to prove by damaging our own glasses?
What are you talking about? Is Annalise okay?
I know you're upset, but your sister is terrified. You didn't try to hurt her, did you?
What's going on?
Max, you need to start telling me the truth. That's the only way we can get through this.
Move.
No, listen to me.
Move!
Max shoves Steve out of the way of Annalise's door, throwing him off balance. Max guards her door. Steve stomps to Max. He's a head taller than him. Max is stretching to meet his gaze.
Get away from her.
You get away!
Max spits on Steve's shoes. Steve just looks disappointed. Runa has noticed the tension and runs out to below the loft.
Breakfast is ready. Come down now. Let's give Annalise some space.
Max shoves Steve to get by him, agreeing with Runa for the first time.
But she's obviously not okay.
Steve stands for a moment as Annalise weeps, then follows Max to the kitchen, looking back at her door with worry. Runa's plating 4 bowls of Riesgrad. Max walks behind her to the fridge, pulls out some sauerkraut, and sits by the window away from the table.
Oh, Max, I made Riesgrad.
I'm not eating that shit.
Max.
Why the fuck do you think I'd hurt her?
Well, what do you think happened then? I see how you hang around the stairs at night.
Do you want a banana, Max?
Max eyes her suspiciously. A pause. She moves to grab a banana and holds it out for him. He takes it and begins unpeeling it. Annalise sobs, and Steve leaves the table.
I'm gonna call Dr. Michael to see if he can visit right now. Max, get ready for school.
I'm not fucking going to school.
I'm not driving you today. Runa, can you make sure Max doesn't miss the bus? Annalise could be hurt and none of you are doing anything.
Fuck you!
Steve starts to retort but closes his eyes and snorts instead. He pulls out his phone and goes to his bedroom, dialing a number. Runa continues plating, looking deeply uncomfortable. Max is furious as he eats. She begins to put raspberries in the 4th bowl.
No raspberries.
Runa looks down at what she's doing.
Oh, yes, she doesn't like raspberries. Thank you.
She finishes the bowl and puts it on the table as Max jumps up from his spot by the window and scoops the 4th bowl and a spoon from her and walks upstairs. Runa watches him, perplexed, but doesn't intervene. He reaches Annalise's door.
Hey, it's Max. I brought your breakfast. I can sleep in your room tonight if you want.
A moment, Annalise only cries. He crouches and puts the bowl on the floor. He stands, carefully descends the stairs, and grabs a jacket from a coat stand and walks toward the front door.
I'm going out.
He opens the door and looks back at her, waiting for her response.
Okay.
Max leaves, slamming the door behind him. A long moment. The stairs creak. Runa eyes them suspiciously and goes back to the kitchen. Runa sits down and tastes the Riesgrad. She drops her head to the table with a groan. Silently, Annalise's door opens, and a hand appears to bring the bowl in. She closes the door again. The soft crying stops. A moment. Steve exits the bedroom and makes a beeline to the kitchen. Runa animates again, greeting him with a bowl of Riesgrad. He doesn't take it.
Dr. Michael will be coming in 30 minutes. He said this type of behavior could be signs of psychosis or something similar.
Has anything like this happened before?
No, that's what makes me think something last night triggered it.
Max wouldn't traumatize her.
You don't know that. None of us know that except Max. He's been so weird recently.
A lot of changes have happened recently. It's easy to understand.
Have you been throwing the glasses?
No!
Then I don't have a better explanation.
Runa sits at the table but doesn't eat.
Rats?
What?
Maybe we have rats.
In the cupboard?
Maybe. My first apartment had a rat problem. They get everywhere. It just doesn't make sense that Max would do that even if he's acting out.
I'll call an exterminator.
Maybe set a trap first.
Steve buries his head in his hands.
I just don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Runa doesn't respond. She'd rather live in a world where she doesn't know either. He sighs and takes a bite of the Riesgrad.
Delicious, maybe. But maybe you can make something else after this?
Scene 7, night 4. Creak, croak, it's cold. Max exits Annalise's room. His ritual begins again. He starts to head to the bathroom, but his look is caught by the stairs. He slowly approaches them and looks down, petrified. A moment. He crouches and is able to slide a foot down the first step. He swallows, recovers, and continues down. It's slow, but he's careful. He carefully shifts down each step, one by one. Although the stage is dark, the audience notices what remains is creeping behind him on the stairs. It follows his lead, carefully taking a step down, looming every time he descends. She cranes over him, bent and broken. What's left of her hair almost touches his shoulder. Its arm reaches to him, careful not to scare him off. When he gets about 3/4 of the way down, he stops and runs a finger over one of the thick posts of the railing. What remains inches closer. A moment. Runa exits her room barefoot in a nightgown. She immediately stares confused at Max, who returns the confused look, although he is slightly ashamed to be spotted.
What are you doing?
None of your business. What are you doing?
Getting a glass of water. Why are you petting the staircase?
Max looks at his hand and yanks it away.
I wasn't. So are you getting water or what?
Runa lets out a tired laugh. She crouches, buries her head in her hands, and begins laughing harder.
Do you need help?
I wasn't getting a glass of water. I was going to make free scrud again.
You were making that nasty ass riscrot again?
Yeah, I can't get it right. I'm missing something. I just can't get it like hers. I just can't get it like hers.
Max turns back to the post and points to a specific spot.
They missed this spot when repainting.
Runa slowly approaches him and sits below him as he talks.
The paramedics think as she fell, she hit her head right here on this post, and it broke her neck. So they cleaned it and repainted it, but they missed a spot. And sometimes I think, well, I could just paint over it. Even if it's not the exact color, I could cover it, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I think I'm the only one who's noticed, and I don't like looking at it. I hate it. So I, 2 years ago, bought some paint, a little can for touch-ups, off-white. It's still in my room. I haven't even opened it yet, and the spot's still here. I've been putting it off because, it's so small. I don't even know how I noticed it. It's nothing. Sometimes I think I've imagined it, so I come back and check. But it's here. And it was her. I just... what if I cover it, I'll start to forget. I know that wouldn't happen, but I don't know. Say something!
I'm sorry, I remember when we were kids in Norway during Christmas, our uncle would bring us these Norwegian candies that were just guys, just people. What's the one here that's just children?
Sour Patch Kids?
Yes, like Sour Patch Kids, but longer and more stretchy.
Laban Seigerman.
Yeah, you've heard of them.
Yeah.
Have you ever had one?
No, I don't think they sell them in America.
Oh, well, they're great, and Dorothy was really good at fashioning them into slingshots because they were so stretchy. So we'd go out and find sticks, and she'd make these slingshots with them, and she'd load them with candy or pebbles, and the family hated it. But I thought she was so innovative and funny. I miss her a lot. I just need to get this recipe right. I need to get this right.
Max doesn't offer her any comfort. Instead, he gazes back at the spot on the post. Runa follows his sightline and stares with him.
Then why did you marry him?
Max, I care about you. I really do.
Don't touch me.
He stands up and backs up the stairs away from her, running into what remains, but he doesn't notice. What remains pauses for a moment, waiting for something to happen. But after realizing he doesn't see her, she phases by both Max and Runa to the kitchen.
Max, I love him.
No, you don't. You just miss her.
Both are true.
He continues to climb the stairs until he reaches the top and looks down at her.
You're an adult. You should be better at dealing with grief and shit now. This is sad. You're pathetic.
I love him, and I want to love you.
No, you're not allowed to feel bad when he stole her family and they don't like you now. What did you think was going to happen?
What remains smashes a glass in the kitchen. Max slightly loses his step on the stairs. He doesn't fall. The misstep was very small and easily corrected. There's no way he could have fallen from that. Yet he crumples on the top step, clinging to the railing, hyperventilating, sobbing. Runa springs up, freaked out, begins crying as well. What remains dashes to the stairs, but no one is paying attention to it.
Fuck, it's okay, you're okay. Do you need some water? I can get you a banana. Do you want... fuck. Do you want help getting down or getting up to your room or NyQuil?
You even cry like her.
What remains disappears into the shadows. Steve exits his bedroom.
Oh my God, what's going on?
Max springs up and exits to his bedroom, slamming the door. Runa is staring at the post in the staircase. She's a mess.
Baby, are you hurt? What happened?
He's not okay.
He's never okay.
You need to go to him.
I've tried, baby. He doesn't want my help.
But he needs it!
Don't yell. You might wake Annalise. I've tried to be there for him, but he always pushes me away. He prefers to deal with things alone.
You're being an idiot if you think he prefers this.
I'm trying to help him. What else can I do?
This house is bad for him. You somehow can't figure out why he can't move on. It's because he sees Dorothy's corpse every single time he passes the stairs. We should move to a new place.
We can't.
Why not?
This is the house I grew up in. It's the house they both grew up in. I've been in my family, and it's been in my family for generations.
Steve, listen.
Runa, you can't have a single conversation with them without it turning into a screaming match. Can you just accept maybe you don't know what's best for my children?
Your children.
You know what I meant. Come on, let's go back to bed before Annalise wakes up. She's still really frightened. Please.
He wraps an arm around Runa and slowly guides her down the stairs. She cooperates, and they make their way back to their room. Runa looks behind her shoulder at the broken glass in the kitchen. They exit. A moment. The house creaks. A soft light reveals what remains, directly standing outside Max's room, softly knocking at the door. Scene 8, Wednesday morning breakfast. It's quiet. No one is here. Everyone has realized that in a house as tragic as this, there is no space for family breakfast anymore. Not after last night. Except Annalise. She opens her door and descends the stairs to the kitchen. No one else is here. Annalise sits in her chair and looks around for her family. She recognizes they are not coming. She recognizes the last family breakfast has already happened. Regardless, she's still hungry. She hops down from her too big chair and goes to the fridge. Inside, she takes out a container full of leftover rice and a carton of milk. She gets the kid's stool from the corner, moves it to the cabinet and stands on it. She still has to stand on her tippy toes to reach the spice cabinet. She gets out vanilla extract, sugar, and a glass jar of cardamom, the missing ingredient covered in dust, from the cabinet. She takes out a small pot and ladle and puts the rice in, followed by a carefully eyed amount of sugar, vanilla extract, and cardamom. She knows the amounts by heart. She moves the pot to the stovetop and puts the heat on low. She slowly begins to add milk while stirring. She stirs, she stirs. A moment longer she stirs. Then it's done. She takes the pot off the heat, careful to turn off the stove. She then grabs a bowl and a spoon and scoops a bowl of risgrat for herself. She then steps off the stool and sits on the floor, back to the stove, as she eats. Her expression is far, but she is savoring every bite. A long moment. Max exits Annalise's room quietly. He peers over the banister to see if anyone is below and carefully descends the stairs when he sees the coast is clear. He sneaks into the kitchen, ready to bolt if someone sees him, quickly grabbing a banana and leaving when he sees Annalise on the floor, the pot on the stove above her. He then sets the banana back on the counter, grabs a spoon from the drawer as he sinks down next to her. He scoops from her bowl, lifting the spoon to sniff it, and takes a bite. A moment. He reflects. It takes him a long time to get another scoop. He's tearing up. The two siblings eat Sunday morning breakfast side by side. Annalise begins to sing En Solskinstag again. Max chuckles a little and softly sings with her. His voice is quivering. They finish the song, lights down. Scene 9, night 4 and Thursday morning. A cold breeze runs through the audience. The house sputters, knowing this is the last night of normalcy before something will change. It doesn't take much time with its final creak. 3 years is already a long time to wait for something to change. Runa is already in the kitchen cooking. What remains looms around her, maybe circling, maybe slumped at her feet. Its presence is ominous. It's not the same around Runa, it's more hostile, like a guard dog protecting its home, its family. Runa cannot see it, but she feels she's not welcome here now more than ever before. Her eyes are tired as she stirs the porridge. She yawns, tries it, adds more nutmeg. Max exits his room with a small paint can in one hand and a brush in the other. His stance is stoic, but his face betrays how much he's been crying. He begins descending the stairs, his hand white-knuckled as he grips the banister. His descent is somehow even slower than it usually is. The whole time, his eyes are glued to the spot. As he descends, one of the stairs creaks. Both What Remains and Runa look toward the stairs. What Remains moves instantly to him. It surrounds him as he stares downwards, reaching out to touch him, but he doesn't see it. Runa enters. She and Max make eye contact.
So you're gonna paint over it?
I think I have to. What else can I do?
Max crouches and tries to open the paint can. He struggles with it. What Remains tries to help him open it, but it cannot help.
Do you want help?
Painting a single spot. Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
No, I just mean like if you need support, I guess.
This doesn't involve you. It never did. Go back to your disgusting porch. It smells wrong even from here.
What Remains changes strategies and rushes past Runa into the kitchen. It throws open the spice cabinet and grabs the dusty glass jar of cardamom and returns.
You're right, it's only 5 ingredients. I was certain I could have cracked it by now. Maybe I need more nutmeg.
What Remains throws the jar by Runa's feet. The glass and spice scatter. She screams. Max goes pale. It looms towards Runa. She falls and scampers away. It takes slow, staggering steps towards Runa. It gnashes, screams, snarls like a dog. This is a different What Remains than we've seen. This is not the same presence who chased Annalise or hovered over Max. This is dangerous. This wants to cause harm. Runa screams, hyperventilates, scampers on the floor. She yells, pleads, begs for mercy. Its pursuit is unrelenting. Max is frozen on the stairs. Runa crawls over parts of the broken jar and cuts herself. She picks up a piece of glass and hurls it towards the figure. Its pursuit is unrelenting. Runa screams in anguish. It screams back. Runa is backed up against a wall or couch or her own guilt. She has nowhere to go. It creeps until it's fully standing over her. Its broken neck dangles as it lowers to her face until they are nose to nose. Runa sobs. It sobs back. Its blood drips on her. The house rattles quietly at first. It seems natural or possibly a manifestation of What Remains is anger. But the second time, it clearly says something, whether through the blinds or a neglected radio. It speaks.
What?
What Remains throws a fistful of cardamom and glass at her face. The house speaks again in a different way. Runa and Max whip their heads around to its source. What Remains' body contorts from its effort.
Not nutmeg?
The house screams, the most desperate we've seen it. More blood falls off What Remains and onto Runa. The message breaks What Remains' form. It splits down the middle.
Mom?
What Remains regains and whips around to face Max. They stare at each other for a moment. What Remains' body cracks as it rises above Runa's and returns to its place at the bottom of the stairs. It melts to the ground, the same position that she landed in after the fall, but with its arms extended. Max runs down the stairs for the first time and into its lap. He weeps. What Remains cradles him, stroking his hair with a bloodied hand. A long moment. Runa slowly stands up carefully, not moving her eyes from What Remains, and approaches. What Remains tilts its head to look back up at her.
I shouldn't be here, should I?
What Remains musters to shake its head despite its broken neck. Max sobs harder. What Remains cradles him tighter.
I'm I'm sorry, Dorothy, I've made a mess of being you.
Runa takes her jacket from the coat rack and leaves through the front door. A long moment. What remains slowly, softly gargles what can barely be recognized as en Skolskentag. It's horrible and screechy. The sort of sound design taken straight from a horror movie. However, it causes Max to laugh. What remains also cackles in its own way from the sound it produces. Max begins to sing with it. They stay like that for a long while. Eventually, the song peters out, the lights dim, and what remains disappears, leaving Max curled up on the bottom of the stairs, mirroring what remains his body. The morning lights come up, and Steve exits his room. Max's face is streaked with tears. He looks tired.
Where's Runa?
Lights out. Scene 10, Friday morning, many months later. All the furniture is gone. A couple cardboard boxes remain scattered near the front door. One of them is an open box of glasses labeled Fragile. A forgotten glass sits on the kitchen counter. Annalise exits her room wearing a stuffed backpack and holding a cardboard box that's nearly the size of her. She starts to descend the stairs when Max comes out of his room, notices her, and rushes towards her.
Here, Annalise, let me get that.
She gives him the box. She sprints down the stairs to the front door while Max takes each step carefully. He stops at the spot, lingers, and continues on. As Annalise approaches the front door, Steve enters with a handful of mail.
Last time getting mail.
Last time taking out the trash.
Last time we can use the bathroom for a few hours. We got a long drive ahead of us.
He sorts through the mail and stops on a small parcel and furrows his brow.
What is it?
It's from Runa.
Can I open it?
It's for Max.
Max turns from what he's doing to give him a confused look. Steve holds it out for him. Max takes it and rips it open, confused.
What is it?
He takes out a baby photo and a handwritten note. He passes the photo to Annalise as he reads.
Oh, these are so cute.
Steve leans over Annalise's shoulder to look at the photo.
How's she doing? Read it out loud.
No, it's my letter.
When he's done reading, he peers in the parcel and pulls out a small package wrapped in tissue paper. He tears it apart and tosses the paper on the floor. As he looks in his hands, a smile escapes his lips before he pulls his face back to a grimace.
Max, we can't leave a mess for the demolition crew.
Why do they care? They're tearing it down.
They need to come in and make a plan. It's not like they just go straight in with a wrecking ball.
He reveals the gift is a bag of Laban Siegmund.
Is that candy?
Yeah, Norwegian. Do you want some?
Yeah.
He rips open the bag and hands her a gummy person. They both eat one.
We can eat that in the car. Max, pick up after yourself.
Max picks up the paper.
All right, guys, did you say goodbye to your rooms for the last time?
No.
She sprints up to her room. Steve laughs. His eyes wander to Max. He's trying to fashion a slingshot using his fingers and the candy.
How are you feeling?
Okay.
Do you have everything?
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish loading up the U-Haul. Tell Annalise I'm outside. I love you, bud. Do you need to pee?
Max rolls his eyes, reflects, puts the candy on the table, and starts upstairs. Max whips around at him.
Shut up.
Steve exits through the front door, taking a box with him. After he leaves, Max looks down at the open box of glassware. He picks up 2 glasses and investigates them in his hands. Annalise runs out of her room and down the stairs towards Max.
Do you want to throw this glass?
Dad said we can't leave a mess.
This is our house. We lived in it. We own it. We can leave it however we want.
Annalise's mouth curves into a smile. She nods. Max smiles and hands her a glass.
Okay, you count down.
3, 2, 1.
The siblings launch the glasses down. They scatter across into the kitchen.
Goodbye, house.
Goodbye, house.
She darts out the front door and exits. Max follows her. Before he exits, a distant, forgotten glass crashes from the kitchen. Max whips behind him and smiles, bittersweet.
I love you. Goodbye.
He takes a moment. He closes the box of glasses and places the candy on top. As he takes the final box out, he kicks a piece of glass towards the kitchen and leaves. Lights down to the sounds of demolition.